Young girls, don't cry. You're not alone in the fight. The broken, the unspoken, we can't heal if the wound is open. It feels like you won't ever see your heart is bleeding. You cry as if you're when you are ill. When the road of pain in life I have to see to gain for their own benefit. Be strong, be brave. You're too far away from the grave. Stand tall. We are here. We don't know the spirit of fear. We will overcome. Yes, we will overcome. We will overcome. Yes, we will. We will overcome. Yes, we will overcome. We will overcome. Yes, we will. Liberia, when will we stop believing? Vulnerable children, strength of their innocence. It feels like no one here to see your heart is bleeding. The cry is ignored when you are ill. When the wrong, the pain and lies are kept a secret to gain for their own benefit. Be strong, be brave. You're too far away from the grave. Stand tall. We are here. We don't know the spirit of fear. We will overcome. Yes, we will overcome. We will overcome. Yes, we will. We will overcome. Yes, we will overcome. We will overcome. Yes, we will. Liberia, we can't give up when they have turned their backs on us. Liberia, we can't give up. Liberia, we can't give up when they have turned their backs on us. Liberia, we can't give up. Young girls, don't cry. You're not alone in the fight.
Hey, good morning. My love, I tell you.
Come here, baby. Oh man, you drive me crazy.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, men and women. Welcome to Commander Galpohkpa Chesson Talk Show. Today is the 5th day of October, 2021. I rise with only one question on my mind. Why all the anger in this world? Why are our societies in such a bellicose state of existence? I watched TV this morning. I was looking at CNN, see all the teachers, the parents at the PTA meetings going wild. I want this. Why you can't wear the mask? My children, I'm there. Whoa! Is this what Donald Trump has brought us to? Is this what the Prince Lucifer, Donald Trump, has brought us to in this world? Anger, to a bellicose state, a warless state amongst ourselves? Is this what 6 years of wickedness have brought us? 6 years of insensitivity. 6 years of recklessness under Donald Trump. Is this what has brought us to? A state of anger, a state of bellicose existence, warlike? Is this what Donald Trump has done to the world? Not only in America. Look at my country, Liberia. Look at what's happening with the ritualistic killings, the evil and wickedness in the world. 6 years of Donald Trump has turned our world upside down. Is this our destiny? Is this the fate of the world? Will we ever come back to a state of decency, civility, kindness? I listened to Shaq, his statement about celebrity, and how people with celebrity status are behaving so uncouth, unkind, evil. I always say that's evil, but I always say it like my brothers from the East. Evil. That evil. I see that evil in you. Way down there. That evil. Bring that evil out. This world is full of evil. Evil. Oh, you turn us evil. Evil. I mean, state of confusion. Warlike people. Why? What's wrong with the whole world, man? What is wrong with this damn world? And Lord, we are angry because the few are not getting what they always get. The few that have always oppressed the world and other nations and peoples are being challenged now. And look at the world is getting mad because we're challenging these useless people. And we destroy ourselves in the process. Why? Evil. All around is evil. Why, man? I was watching CNN last night before. Well, it's in the morning now, but before I got up like 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, early in the morning. And I was watching the teachers going off, man, fighting each other. My child ain't gonna wear no stinking mask. That stinking mask. That disgusting thing. My child ain't gonna wear no mask. And I'm like, oh shit. These bitches go wild. Oh shit. My child ain't gonna wear no mask. Give me that. You are the cause. You are the evil of my children. I'm like, damn, what's happening to the world, man? After Donald Trump, every shit is just breaking loose, man, just falling down. Is this because of QAnon, an invasion of the unknown species? QAnon? No. With the word is just fucked up, man. I mean, you got QAnon, you got Donald Trump, you got the Trumpers, you got Trump Jr., you got Eric, Ivanka, what the other one is? Byron. Those are all the princesses of the new era of the American dynasty. The people say Donald Trump will be king, and Eric Trump will be the next Eli and Junior Trump, all these sick people. What is wrong? What is wrong? Then I look at my country Liberia, look at my hairline. Eric Benedict Cummings. Let me start let me get my lesson because I don't want to overstep my bounds. Then I get caught up in a messed up situation. Okay, let me start my topics today. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Let's stop all this shenanigans and the bullshit and all that running around and stop. Let me get my topics now because I don't want to overstep my bounds, okay? Today's topics are: 1, what is the role of the newspaper in Liberia's forthcoming election? 2, what is the coalition of political parties framework document report? And my third topic, dissolve the coalition of political parties. My first topic, what is the role of the newspaper in Liberia's forthcoming election? You know, I listen to Henry Costa, with the Costa Show. I listened to, who else did I listen to? Who has really pricked my mind about this? I was listening to somebody this morning and we were talking about newspaper. I had on my mind just, but I talked about Costa and it just threw me off. I was listening to another reporter this morning. I like to call names, especially if I call Costa name. I need to give the other people credit. Was that, who did I listen to this morning? I listened to Costa. Was that Anthony C? I don't know, but I listened to Anthony C this morning. I listened to the Liberian reporter, the guys in Liberia, Far and his buddy. I listened to who is that I listened to this morning that talking about the newspaper? Lobo. George Lobo. Yeah, I listened to Lobo this morning and they were talking about the newspaper. And Rodney C. and his impact on the society. There are not many newspapers in Liberia. I think we have the Daily Observer. My man Keith Kenneth Best. He comes out once every blue moon. When somebody tip him good money, then you go preach it. So we still have the footprint newspaper that comes up periodically whenever Best feel like it. Then we have the front page Africa with Rodney Sear, who is consistent, fairly consistent, who is the main news, excuse me, who is the main news paper and internet source of news for most Liberians throughout the world. We're from Page Africa. Rodney Sear has been in this thing a long time. I know Rodney personally. And I haven't seen him in a long time because I know he's fat or bald head and all kind of shit now. But I haven't seen Rodney in a long while. I saw a picture the other day where he got into all this kind of thing. But he's the main source of news in Liberia right now. They have these other on the side newspapers that come out once in a while. Like the last one they were running behind when the editor said something about George Weah government. And they wanted him to approve it. And they took away. I think he's still in hiding. So Front Page Africa is the main source. But now everybody complaining that Rodney Sear, editor and CEO of Front Page News, Front Page Africa, is writing his own news now. Casa complaining that he did an interview the other day. He put it in a newspaper, an interview with Borka from a foreign newspaper called, what was it called? The what? Casa was talking about it together. I just had a newspaper on my mind just now. I read it thinking, the African breeze, was it something like that? Something like that. And Casa says a non-existent newspaper. You know, Casa, when he did his research, I'm not interested in that shit. So Casa says it's non-existent. He lied on Borka. Nobody ever did a Borka interview with Borka. Because, excuse me, because in our news report, Front Page Africa stated that in his interview with this African newspaper called African Breeze or whatever it is, Joe Borka stated that when he becomes president, he will prosecute you. I read it myself. It was kind of, I was kind of shocked, but I wasn't shocked because nothing from Liberia shocks me anymore. So I was reading, I said, Borka said he was jailed, better not who fighting to be vice president and talking all of that. So I didn't say anything, but then Casa came out and said that's a damn lie. This source that Rodney Sear quoted, this African Breeze, the shit has no newspaper nowhere. There's no newspaper existing like that. Rodney Sear made it up. So while Lobo carrying the same echo, I think he taking it from Casa because all of them on a Joe Borka wagon. So they were talking about it today. So what is the role of the newspaper? As I've stated, there are very few newspapers in Liberia. The main source of news that comes out of Liberia for us, is Front Page Africa. Yeah, we have the other ones like TLC and TLC Africa, all of that from the Liberian community. But many people just go to TLC Africa for death, news, and report, not for news. Our main news source is Front Page Africa News, which has been in existence for so long and has been put to the test and survived. So we have some trust in the news reporting from Front Page Africa. So when Casa and Lobo and the Unity Party group begins to challenge the newspaper reporting, saying that, hey, that report is not real because there's no newspaper called African Breeze or whatever newspaper Rodney Sear quoted as getting his report from on Joe Walker's statement that he would jail within that year when he becomes president. So everybody now wants substantiation of that report. Can Rodney Sear produce it? And when we have very few newspapers in our country that we can trust, they're reliable. Even with the news commentators on the radio, not many of them I want to listen to because how many of them want to talk against the government? There are few. There are few. So with the newspaper, since the last time they challenged the last man for publishing something and they wanted him to prove it, and he disappeared, he escaped. Rodney Sear has been consistent. He has been to jail, he has been sued, but he has maintained his consistency. But this is a serious period in our history now. We're vying for election in 2023. And Front Page Africa is still the main source of news and information that we can rely on coming out of Liberia that is consistent. And I talk about you print today, then you don't print no more the next month. No, Rodney Sear comes on every morning. There's a new reporting. The only time he doesn't report is on the weekend. I see he reports Friday and there's no more reporting until Monday. So the weekend is not reported. But that's the only time I see. But since I've been reading Front Page Africa, the news been consistent every morning. And so to some extent we can rely on Front Page Africa's report. But as the main source of news coming out of Liberia, it's problematic. It is. Because who else can we trust? Despite the fact that we have all these podcasters. I go to Costa, I go to Lobo, I go to Julius, Lofa Julius, I go to Yasin Pue, I go to Hawa Meska, I go to Pazawi, I go to Friends that do. I'm trying to get everybody the credit that I go to. Because I go to a lot of sites. I do volcano shelter. Everything that comes up, I touch on it. On the main people that are consistent in their reporting. Those are the people I go to and listen to all of them because I want to hear what all of them got to say before I present my show in the morning. That's why I get up early in the morning. I get up by midnight and I start perusing through all the various reporters and their podcasting to hear what they got to say about the news that's coming up for the next morning. Then I prepare my topics because I'm a teacher. I don't care about the political aspect of it. I care about the political science, ramification that all of this brings to the forefront of our politics. So that's my job as a political scientist. When I listen to all these people think that I form my own analysis of what they're trying to say or what is existing in our country right now. And this is the problem right now. So we're looking at newspapers. That when I come up from a deeper perspective. What is the role of the newspapers in this electoral process? What is the role? We got to define it because right now in our community and society, there is a grave situation of distrust, a grave situation of deception and lies for money, for greed. So has Rodney Sears fallen into that crack? Or does Rodney Sears have a special interest in this electoral process? Is there a party that he wants to promote over others? Is he promoting ANC over UP? Is that why Costa and Lobo are complaining against him because he's not for them? You know when people complaining about something, some shit not right. They're not happy about something. So what's the unhappiness with Lobo and Costa? Is Front Page Africa leaning too much towards ANC? Because I know Rodney C he be punished by George Weah so much. I know he won't be with George Weah right now. So is he with ANC? Is he with ANC? Because we have to understand where these reporters' ideals and relationships and concepts and affiliation and associations rest. That's why it's good for us to have our independent sources of investigators looking at these people and telling us, hey, this man, people associated with this party, these people associated with this party. You see, like Casa talking now that Front Page Rodney Sears with L.A. Cummings, Lobo talking the same thing. So it's a Front Page Africa newspaper, impartial and fair and free. The last time there was the news about the situation in Liberia. What happened? Something happened, and Front Page Africa had a hard time printing the newspaper about the news about the government. The government did some stupid shit. They had, and the Port family that is affiliated with Rodney Sears refused for him to make the reporting. Something about Ebola or I can't remember what the reporting was a few weeks ago. But Rodney Sears had a hard time printing his newspaper. He didn't say about other people said that he was going crazy all around Monrovia trying to print his newspaper because the Port family that's affiliated with his newspaper didn't want him to report certain news, and they went and locked the newspaper building, and Rodney had to take his print source and everything to another printing press to print the newspaper. That was never verified, but nobody ever said anything to dispute it. So it must be true that people didn't want Rodney Sears to publish the newspaper. The affiliates, the Port family. So if this is what going on in your country, can we trust a newspaper? Even despite that, if we know that families running these newspapers and they got personal interests in the election, in money. I think I was the case about some deaths. Yeah, somebody died. I can't remember. It would come to my mind. But it was a few weeks ago. They said Rodney Sears went crazy trying to print the newspaper and somebody to get the news out. So if this is the problem in our country, what kind of independent newspaper is there? What sources or source can we depend on for reliable news? We always have to wait for Costa or Francis Doe or Prophet Key. Who else? Kashin. Who else? Bazawi. Because these are the sources we get news from in America. So if we're not reading it from the newspaper, from in our country, that can give us some enlightenment as to what's going on in the country, that can be reliable and truthful, who else can we rely on? Who else can we rely on? If our newspapers are partial, if all the newspapers take sides, who's going to bring us good and fair news and honest, truthful news? Because, hey, this is a serious situation and state of existence in Liberia today. You know, none of these parties putting out their own newspapers to enlighten us. None of them. They may have control of the local newspaper, and radio and TV stations, but print news is significant too, especially for us in the diaspora. You know, not everybody will be brave enough to come and express themselves and tell us what's happening because they're afraid of retribution or reprisal. So they will not come and talk. But in print media, people will better express themselves there because the people in our government today can't read. Reading is a challenge. So when they see things, they will just throw it down and don't read it. And us, we can read it and get the gist of it. But when we have few newspapers disseminating any kind of news that's worth it under the country, especially during this period, it's a challenge. It is a challenge. So we have to, I don't know what we'll do about private newspapers that want to support political parties. I don't know whether we can do anything about that, except hope that from the people in Liberia, they trust in some source of reporting. We in the diaspora can have a means of determining which source of news coming out of Liberia is impartial, is fair and truthful, that we can rely on to analyze the situation in our country, decipher what is happening among the political parties. So the newspaper is very essential to this political process. And if we only have one major newspaper, it's hard. It's hard. It becomes very difficult for us to decipher what is truly happening in our country. That's why it's very significant that all the political parties have some form of newspaper. If you can get radio station, you can get newspaper too. You can use print media as well as television and other forms of media to promote your message and your interest. Because if we got to rely on Front Page Africa and Known, or the few newspapers we have in our country that have political ties and affiliations and associations and connections, we never get a true news out of our country, or we get one-sided report. But if we have diverse forms of print media coming out of Liberia, that we can sit there and read and look at pictures and give us another form of graphic ideas of what's happening in our country. That will advance the political competition, the ideal of political fairness, the ideal of impartiality in the electoral process. So it behooves us to get involved with print media for each of the political parties to have a means of printing their platform, of printing their messages and getting it out, instead of relying on one public news paper to do that. The other parties, where is the reporting from the ANC? Where is the newspaper of the CPP? Where is the newspaper of the CDC? Where you're gonna have newspaper? You can't only have internet shit. You're gonna show us that this community is a viable, educated, or in the process of educating society. And print media is a necessity. Having our people read is a must. We can't sit and watch TV every day. No. Everything the parties do cannot just be for video and TV. No. You got to come out with print media, with newspapers from the various parties, explaining your platforms, explaining your mission, explaining your goals and ambitions in this political arena. But if you don't do these things, how can you enlighten the Liberian society? How can you move us from one era to the next era? TV and video and these kind of graphics are not the only way to educate our people. Reading is a necessity. Having newspapers circulating is a must. That breeds a wholesome functioning society where people can read and decipher things for themselves, analyze things for themselves, figure things out for themselves. But if everybody watching TV and being spoon-fed the bullshit, it ain't gonna work. So the newspaper is essential in this electoral process. And the political parties must get involved by demonstrating that you people are competent to lead this nation, by putting on your own newspapers, by having your own radio stations, by having your own television stations. It is a necessity for you to spread your messages to the society. And any political party that does not meet these forms of communication is not viable and functioning to lead the Liberian society. No. Any political party that does not have its own newspaper, television, radio station, they can't lead Liberia. They are incompetent of spreading their message. These are the same people who start using instrumentalities of the state as their own property. No. So if a political party wants to emerge on the political scene as the party to lead the Republic of Liberia, they must demonstrate that they are financially capable to sustain themselves as well as the Liberian society. They must have their own newspaper. They must have their own radio station. They must have their own television station. If they don't, they're not capable to lead the Liberian people. These are the foundational things we must set up for our political parties to make sure that they come in to the plate with resources. They come into the plate to fill in the gap where our nation is weak. and they want to lead, they got to show leadership. So if the party is weak, if the party does not have the financial resources to promote its message and mission and objective, how can it lead the Republic of Liberia? It can't. So if these political parties now emerging and want to lead us, do not have their own newspaper, do not have their own radio stations, do not have their own television stations or affiliations with television stations and things like that, you can't vote for them because they are bullshitters, deceivers, and useless criminals. Because any political party that cannot put together its own mechanism for promoting itself and enhancing its leadership capacity, how will they lead Liberia? What will they contribute to our nation and people? If I alone can have my own TV show, I have the ability to do all these things, while other people who got group and parties can't find people to do these things. They're not capable to lead us. They're not capable. They are not capable. Because if a political party cannot put together the framework for communicating its message to the society in an effective manner, using print, using TV and video and every kind of media, that political party has not met the standard for educating our people through its political processes. So this is where we stand on evaluating political parties, on evaluating our news and communication networks that must enhance the survivability of Liberian people in every aspect. We must be able to communicate effectively. We must be able to read effectively. Even if our schools are incapable of teaching our people must be able to pick up the newspaper and read and understand what is happening in our country. Education is not only left to the schools and our teachers. Education is a process that is a necessity from and at every aspect of our upbringing, every aspect of our lives. Education must be the focal point. And if our political parties cannot exemplify that, they are not worthy to lead us. We must set high standards for those who want to lead us. You want to lead us? Prove that your ass can produce. Prove it. Don't tell me you won't lead me. Then you don't have no newspaper. You don't got no TV. You don't got no radio station. So even if I join your party, there is no ideal of upliftment or mobility in the party itself. When the hell I'm joining that damn party for? It would just sit there, eat fufu, drink soup, and talk bullshit. If the party is not strong enough to breed and make leaders within the party itself, what is the use of that damn party? It's no use. So if parties want to lead us in this era, they better have newspaper. They better have radio and TV. They better have systems to generate leaders and speakers and promoters of their ideals, or else they can't lead us. The time of the Liberian people is now. Aluta, continua. Let me take a break, then we'll go to my lesson 2. Okay. We're talking about a coalition of political parties framework. We hear the report is out. Listen to Henry Carson. The report is out. And it's not favorable to the ANC. It's not favorable to L.A. Cummings. Sorry, folks, I just want to try from the beginning. This thing. Okay, that was Henry Carson on the Carson show this morning, stating that the framework document of the CPP, the investigation is concluded, and they have come to the conclusion that there was tampering, major tampering of the document by Mr. L.A. Cummings and his affiliates. Now, the document was supposed to be released yesterday. They don't want the ANC, the Alternative National Congress, and L.A. Cummings don't want it released because they say it would damage the CPP. Because he went and tampered with the document. He went and changed certain provisions in the documents that the others did not agree on. And he did attach their signatures to a forged document. Now the report is out. And they're afraid that the revelation of the truth of L.A. Cummings' tampering with a legal document to promote himself would damage the political party. But that political party can't stand no more. If it's true, as Casa them have already authenticated, that L.A. Cummings tampered with the document to put himself in a better position to be president of Liberia over the other people of the CPP. It's a crime. Here is a standard bearer committee of crime even before the election. If L.A. Cummings is so low down and dirty and useless as to tamper with a legal document and lie to the Liberian people and try to frame things up to make himself have an advantage over the other people, it's a crime. It's a blatant, dirty, low down, useless crime. And Casa is right. There is no way we can water this down. We have done this in our history forever. Do you know the corruption that has gone on in Liberia that has been watered down, that has been thrown under the rug from 1822 to this very damn day? That's why we can't grow, our society can't develop. There's no justice, there's no fairness, there's no law. People don't follow the law because people just do anything they want to do. There is no damn law. When people will take the law into their own hands and manipulate it and turn it around and phrase it any way they want, then when they caught, they want to call meeting to harmonize it, to water it down. No. God said you're right. They can't water it down. No. We can't do that. That's what some of us got to stand up together. We may not agree on the same politics, but we know right from wrong. And when wrong is wrong, we must say wrong is wrong. To hell with it. To hell with where the chips may fall. And we punish people. Punish people. Because what goes around comes around. If we let it go around and we don't stop it, it will come around to us. Then we won't cry. And to hell with us. Nobody will be there to stop it for us. Man, we got to have men in our society, man. We got to stand up. We got to have a few men that see shit the right way and will not tolerate any other bullshit. Right is right. Wrong is wrong. Right is right. Wrong is wrong. We must have men that will stand up and stand on the foundation that right is right and to hell with anything else. We don't have to have the same philosophy. We don't have to have the same mother or father or brother or sister or family. We don't. But we know when something is wrong, it is wrong. When something is low down and corrupt, it is low down and corrupt. And there's no way we can hide it, cover it up, water it down, slide it under the bench, push it under the side, whatever damn way we want to do it. There's no way we can do it. Enough is enough. Enough is damn well enough. And we must stand together. Those are us that know wrong is wrong. And we say wrong is wrong. We must stand together and free our country. Free our country. If we don't do it, this same bullshit will go on and on and on forever. It be going on for too long, and we cannot condone it nor let it fester any further. We must nip it in the bud. Our people must be honest. We must breed honest and trustworthy men in our society, not punks like Ellie Cummings, not punks like the other useless bitches who won't join Ellie Cummings in this useless thing. We gotta have men and women in our society. We gotta have strong people that will stand up for justice. That's the only way we'll get justice. That's the only way we'll get justice. The people that lead our people in trustworthiness and truthfulness, that will stand up and speak up and stop the evil and wicked people like Ellie Cummings, the corrupt people that corrupt our society. For a man that comes from Coca-Cola, a world company like that, to tamper with and change a document illegally to put himself above the other people, that's cheating, that's stealing, that low down bullshit. You will not do it to Coca-Cola. Why you want to do it in Liberia? Elliot Cummings will never do that shit in Coca-Cola because they will catch him and dismiss him and disgrace him. So why you want to do it in Liberian society? Because he can? Because that's the culture of impunity, of deception, of lies. So you will leave Coca-Cola with your prestige and your integrity intact and come to the Liberian society and try to use corruption and evil and the evil vices of foreign society to deceive our people and place yourself above us. with impunity. This has gone on for too long. We must punish LA Cummings. If this, you're better. Mo Ali is another useless man. You put that Mo Ali man there who impregnated that little girl, use a position to impregnate that little girl, that the man you put there to investigate shit. I mean, your people are useless. What wrong with you? You take a useless character like Mo Ali to investigate something of this other useless man. Mo Ali is no man of character. Now he was supposed to release the report yesterday. They're scared to release the report because they know this will break down the CPP. LA Cummings' pride and integrity is gone. Mo Ali never had none. Mo Ali ain't got no damn pride and integrity. That's why he want to tamper. That what people can influence him to tamper with the document. That's why it wasn't released yesterday. And people like us, we are here. We know you're weak-minded Liberian people, like Mo Ali and the rest of you. We know you're weak-minded. We know you're. I've dealt with Mo Ali and all of them. I've dealt with them. That's why you see I don't hang on with nobody. That's why you see I don't join no political party. Because I know the men in my society. I've dealt with all these people. And I know their character. And I know many of them are men of low integrity. And I will not put myself nor my education on the line for these people. No. And worst of all, the behavior toward my country is detrimental. It's detrimental towards the sovereignty of the Republic of Liberia. And I can't join them. I can't. These boys need rectification and corrections and edification, and I gotta give it to them because their minds are all screwed up with Ellen Johnson selling mess. Ellen Johnson selling children. They corrupt just as that mulatto food. So that's where we are. When we have deceitful men in our midst who want to lead us, who want to be president of the Republic of Liberia. Can you believe that shit? People who forge other people's documents and manipulate documents want to lead us? LA Cummings, it's a shame on you. Shame on you, LA Cummings. Shame on you and your family name to come and try to deceive the Liberian people with your forgery and your mess. And now you want to make it up to lead us? Something got to be done, my people. Something got to be done. Let me take a break. A lesson from the wise man of Liberia. From Attorney Commander Galpohkpa Chesson to my people. Number 3, dissolve the CPP. The coalition of political party is unfit to represent the Liberian people. That coalition is damaged. LA Cummings has placed a wedge of deception and lies and treachery and evil to the veil of that party. He has pierced the veil of honesty. That party is a trash. Dissolve the coalition of political parties now. Aruta! Continue, my class is done. Have a good day. Have a good day, my people. Have a good day from the lucky end. Have a good day. Have a good day.